Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency partners Office of Education Quality Assurance engage teachers on child protection. A look at the Lagos Rice Mill project, and we'll also be focusing on the state's investment into the health sector. We kick off the show with the issue of child abuse. Now, as we all know, the school environment is where students spend most of their time. In the process, they get influenced either positively or negatively by their peers. For this reason, the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, in collaboration with the Office of Education Quality Assurance, has engaged administrators and heads of schools across the 6 education districts in the state on child protection policy and domestic and sexual violence. Take a look.
We expect you to show love.
Administrators, heads of schools across the 6 districts in Lagos State are gathered at the Adeyemi Bero Hall, Alausa, on how to protect children from all forms of abuse.
What are you doing to protect that child being neglected even from home by the parents?
It is an initiative put together by the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency in collaboration with the Office of Education Quality Assurance.
You work in a public school, you cannot employ your staff, can you? It is the commission that employs your staff. But even at that, as the head of the school, you have the responsibility to ensure that all your staff adopt this and sign on to abide by it.
The Executive Secretary of Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency says the exercise will broaden the tutors' knowledge.
This policy has been in existence since 2016. But when we did a recent survey, we found out that the majority of our child-centered institutions, particularly schools, are not aware of the policy. So how can we enforce something people are not aware of? And that is what inspired this gathering. We've done this for the Education District 6, District 1, District 2, and this is District 3, I believe. So we have 4 and 5 left. And this is going up this for all public and private schools. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue the way we are behaving at the moment. I don't know if you are aware, but last week a 5-year-old boy drowned in a swimming pool. The swimming pool was supposed to be learning how to swim, and he drowned. Apparently he was underwater for 30 minutes, but he knew he was underwater. We believe very strongly that that was a preventable death. If safety, safeguarding and child protection measures were in place and enforced to the letter. Just this week, we heard of another boy, 12-year-old, I believe, that died after he was allegedly flogged by the teacher. He vomited and then he passed on. We cannot continue like this. We cannot. And so that's why we're doing this, so that it will not be said, I did not know. Although ignorance of the law is not an excuse. But as government, it's important that we empower you with information, and then you go back and replicate it in your schools. So after now, we're coming for our monitoring and evaluation exercises. We expect that when we come to your school, you would have adopted a safeguard and child protection policy nuanced to your own institution. We expect that as principals and heads of schools, you would have designated the safeguarding officer that will be in charge of ensuring full implementation of this policy. We expect that posters we will distribute today will be pasted in conspicuous places in your institution. Please let this not be another talk show or another talk shop or another talking event, because our children's lives are in jeopardy. And it's very ironic because it is one of the places where children are supposed to be safe is in the school. And if children are not safe in the school, then there is a problem.
Some of the teachers expressed their views about the burning issue.
We are meant to have officers in place that will help to oversee the issue of child protection within our school and in the other organization, and to be able to report such to the appropriate quarter that when due, so as for this appropriate quarter or the professionals in the field to take it up where it requires medication for them to do that, and a situation that requires police maybe coming to do investigation and also taking the matter up to the appropriate quarter, they will as well do the same.
Schools are not the judge for any child molestation. If anything happens, if there is any occurrence, the school is to get a referral form you fill and then invite the ministry. We have a unit that will always look into that. So your own is to open up. Don't keep it to yourself. Even if it is what you suspect, if you have suspected anything, don't just say, oh, it is a mere suspect that you don't have any concrete evidence. You must open up. It will be investigated, and if there is no reason for anybody to be harassed, then the case will just die. But if there is, you never can tell. Maybe there are things that are really happening. Once you raise that, then the right unit will come up and start the investigation. Before you know it, things will be exposed. We've been told that we don't even need to actually know that something is happening. The moment we are suspecting, we should go to action. It's not in our own to start investigating. Ours is to just suspect, oh, this child is going through this. Is it sexual abuse? Is it physical abuse? Whatever. We need to take action immediately by informing the appropriate authorities so that it can be taken over from there right away. It's other people's responsibilities to make the investigation, to prove it, and to go beyond helping the child so that that child is not maimed for life, is not hurt, psychologically damaged or something. So our own role here is so important because we are the first responder.
The Director General, Office of Education Quality Assurance, says they are ready to support the cause that will protect children in Lagos.
Oftentimes we think of it as something that is separate from the work that we do, separate from education, separate from teaching and learning. It's an add-on, almost like how some people would see extracurricular activities. But in fact, safeguarding and child protection is at the core of learning. There's no way children are going to be able to be productive. There's no way teachers are going to be able to do their jobs effectively when there are inadequate systems, processes, procedures, protocols to ensure safety and child protection. I think in our roles here that we play at the ministry, we've seen it more than others. We've seen it more now than before. It becomes very obvious, very pertinent that we do our jobs meticulously. Because guess what? All it takes is one mistake for a child to be raped. All it takes is one mistake for a child to end up dead. And that is very important. It doesn't happen by chance. It's not something that other countries just know. People are crazy everywhere, right? Children are children everywhere. So what is the difference? On one end, it is having these things in place. Another end is keeping to those standards. We, as educators, must take a stand and say, you know what, the buck stops with me. You need to make that decision. If you don't make that decision, you may find yourself where you don't want to be. Because guess what? When children are in your care and they have been abused or neglected, negligence, you will be held accountable.
The program, which drew over 600 participants from public, private, primary and secondary schools in Lagos, will no doubt go a long way in safeguarding pupils from domestic and sexual abuse.
Now let's talk about rice production. The Lagos State government is making effort to become a producer of rice. So the rice mill at Imota, which stands as one of the largest in Africa, will be commissioned anytime soon. This report focuses on the present stage and the capacity of the rice mill.
Nigeria is the largest producer of rice in Africa, with an average production volume of 8 million metric tons. As of 2019, Nigeria ranked as the 14th largest producer of rice in the world, with China being the top producing country. Also in 2019, Africa had a total production volume of 14.6 million, with Nigeria producing about 55% and Egypt produced about 30% of the volume. As part of plans to increase this figure, the Lagos State government has taken a giant step by building a rice mill at Imota, Ikorodu area of the state. The integrated mill is a 22-hectare facility, with the rice mill taking about 8.5 hectares. It consists of a complete set of new mills, 2 warehouses and 16 silos. Imota rice mill is expected to produce 32 tons per hour, with each of the 16 silos boasting of a capacity of 2,500 tons each. This project is put together by Nigerians, and workers are seriously engaged to meet the deadline. It's our second visit to the site. The team in charge of making this project a reality is on ground, and one of the contractors says the mill is over 90% done.
Overall, the project is about 92% completed. If you look around you, most of what you see are indigenous workers. So everything from inception, that is from design to construction, installation, has all been done by a local workforce. But the challenges have been the little component that involves the foreign component because of COVID restrictions. As you can see, there are 2 lines. We're actually on line A, which is 100% completed. And then you have line B, which is 90% completed. Basically, what's going to go on here is the actual rice milling. That is the sorting, the husking, polishing, bagging, the whole process of milling goes on in here. And you have 2 16-ton per hour mills, which can run either together or independently, basically. This is state of the art. It's called the Rolls Royce of rice mill equipment, basically. And even though we were built to complete this project in 2018, 2019, they've actually fed us with up-to-date technologies, which we keep incorporating until and when the mill is ready for commissioning. The quality of the rice you're going to get from here is second to none, basically. It's equal to whatever it is when you say imported rice. So basically, the rice from here can be put side by side by any rice imported and you get the same quality, basically.
Electrical cables are being put in place for optimal operation, and the contractor tells us the progress made in terms of installation.
Go to the back and gather them and bunch them. See, engineer, please bunch these cables. I told you, bunch them.
As you can see, work is ongoing here. Yeah, this is the harvest dryer control room here. And there is another control room on the other side. And we have one on the rice mill. There is one here as well for the silo storage. So far, for the silo storage, all the silo activities are completed, except for a few activities that we need to do at the top. So those are dependent on the equipment supplier. So, and for the intake and pre-cleaning, 100% complete. you know. So, and this area we're also finishing. So overall, we're at 92% completion.
What is being done presently is house cleaning, and for those in charge of construction in here, the mill is ready for operation.
It will interest you that we moved to site in year 2017. Until date, we've never for one day moved out of sight. Even in the face of the challenges that COVID-19 pandemic posed, we bent backward to make sure that we deliver to town on the rice mill. And as it is, we can confidently tell you that we've put the challenges behind us, and that explains our readiness and preparedness to deliver the motorized mill project, which is a legacy project for Lagos State and all Nigerians in general. We are ready for the commissioning anytime our client, that is the Lagos State government, beckons on us that, okay, we are coming tomorrow. We are ever ready to deliver the site. At the moment, all the critical work areas have been completed. At the moment, we are doing the house cleaning, which is just a step to delivering the project to the Lagos State government. A motorized mill, as it is now, is the first in sub-Saharan Africa. And this is probably the third largest in the world. At the moment, globally, we have food insecurity, crisis everywhere, and come home to Nigeria. The challenges posed by internal crisis we have as a people. Once the rice mill kicks off, Lagosians will benefit, and all Nigerians in general.
The equipment here are top-notch. Each of the silos is 25 meters high, with a lifespan of 40 years that is already automated.
We have 16 number silos there. So, and each of the silos is 2,500 tons capacity. So in total, we have 40,000 storage capacity for paddy. So, and the way the whole operation here works is that when the paddy comes from the farm, it goes into the intake. So then from the intake, it goes to the pre-cleaning. So where some of the impurity that comes with with the paddy from the farm is being sorted. Then some of the stone also is being removed. Then from the pre-cleaning, it goes to the harvest dryer. So the harvest dryer is to reduce the moisture content in which the paddy comes into the mill. And then when that is done, it is being stored in the silo here. So through the top conveyor. So you can see we have the top conveyor on the top of the silo. So that is where the paddy goes into the silo for storage. From here, through the bottom conveyor, the paddy goes into to the conveyor, and from there to the parboiling area. So where the rice will be parboiled. Then from there, it goes to the parboil dryer. So where it will be dried, then to the mill itself. So at the rice mill, we have the deoxing, the color sorting and all that. Then from there, it goes for packaging. Then from there to the finished goods storage. Yes, everything is automated, right from the intake to where the bagging is being done. Everything is being automated. So we only need just little human supervision as the people in the control rooms to just check how the processing is going on. Anywhere you are in the world, if you are part of the team, you should be can be able to assess what is going on here, and if you have any input to it, you can do that. Looking at the silo, you see it's being made of galvanized steel material. So 30, 40 years, the silo is still there, even more than. So all we need to do is just normal maintenance, just cleaning and all that.
Some residents in the area appeal to the government to deliver the long-awaited project.
And many people will benefit from it. The youth, everybody, even the community, the community nearby us, everybody will benefit from it. Not only Imota, Ikodu will benefit from it. Shagam, Agbowa, Ekpe. Because what I've seen about that place, I can see that it is a very large rice mill. As we heard about it, they said it was the largest in the whole Nigeria. And likewise the road. The road is very bad. They should do something about the road so that at least those trucks that wanted to apply the route, they will be able to access the road in a normal condition.
We appreciate the state government for bringing the rice mill to Imota because it will create jobs for the youth, and we are also grateful that the project is not abandoned.
We still need a lot of investment for Imota. Imota is a popular place. I think you understand me, but we still need local government. Government should be complete Imota rice, and we should approve, and everything should be normal for the people.
The Lagos State government has spent 20 billion naira out of the 25 billion naira initially budgeted for the construction of the mill. And Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently announced that the mill will be ready by fourth quarter of 2022.
This rice mill will produce 2.4 million bags of 50 kg rice annually, and it will create over 200,000 jobs at Imota. Well, we're believing that we should complete, and start production of this rice mill by the fourth quarter of this year. We want to create opportunity to feed ourselves and to feed Nigeria if possible, and create economic growth and prosperity through agriculture.
Rice is one of the important staple food in the country that is mostly consumed on a regular basis. It is rich in nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates. When the Imota rice mill is completed, it is expected to boost the GDP of Lagos, create jobs in both the upstream and downstream sector of the rice value chain.
Finally on the program, we bring you this clip showing what the Lagos State government has put in place in changing the health sector for the better, and the medical transformation blueprint for residents.
Official commissioning of Lagos State blood transfusion, Agada, Mr. Governor.
The levels of leadership we've had in the last 20 years, there have been people that understand and appreciate that you are in this position to serve and to see how you make tomorrow better than what you've met it today.
This laudable project is another effort of the Sanwo-Olu administration to support businesses, promote economic development, and ultimately improve the standard of living of Lagosians.
We have about 330 primary health cares, and we're still developing them. We're making sure that almost 2-3 in every ward that we have one. 3-4 kilometers away, you can turn a bend and get a primary health facility. We have 27 secondary health facilities. We're going to wrap it up to 30. What WHO, UNICEF has recommended in a year's budget, allocate between 10 to 12% of your total year's budget on health. And we're trying to meet that. It's really to be able to have a master plan, not just to build it, we need to be able to also be able to have the requisite skills of professionals working there and be able to continuously train them.
We just need to redo this.
Exactly.
We've embarked on Mr. Governor's blueprint for medical infrastructure transformation, capital projects. When we break that down, we're looking at the environment in which the doctors work, particularly in the infrastructure, the equipment that they work with, the design of the buildings, doctors' quarters, places to rest and relax, comfortable offices, clean water, electricity, nurture and nature of the environment. Greenfield project is a brand new project, so we're going to build on a greenfield. We're aiming at about 50% lower energy utility in all our new hospitals, which is in keeping with the global trend of design, low carbon and climate change. Everybody that's going to use that facility is brought into the design concept. If it's Massey Street, for example, we spent months engaging with the pediatricians. What do you want? How do you see your new hospital? We have a special project called Art for Life, which as the building is being designed, the artists are coming in to look at the aesthetics of the building. Not a place where you come to and you leave the place with a bad memory in your mind. All our facilities now will have a particular look. So when you see a general hospital moving forward, they look the same, they have the same color structure. When you see a primary healthcare facility, you know by its design and by its color. All these facilities will be linked up in what we call the SHIP. The SHIP is the Smart Health Information Platform, which will connect each of these hospitals through digital connectivity. We can use a digital platform to consult with Nigerian doctors abroad or any other specialist to help solve rather complicated cases.
Thank you very much.
The governor is a surveyor by profession, and this blueprint is his idea. Capital projects take time, but we're hoping to finish quite a few in this dispensation. Those that we can't finish would have reached a stage where the next government will have no problem following through and carrying on with the projects.
And that's the program for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until next time, please stay safe.